Recording in progress. I'll just edit that bit
Oh,
out.
welcome to table 58. Ooh.
I'm Sarah. This is Marissa. We're both very, very sober. Sober. We're very, very sober. We do both follow a program. That's not primarily why we're here. We're certainly not here representing any particular organisation. What's the next bit? It's a good. I just left the brain completely. So I should have pulled.
That's good. Come as you are Sunday. We've had a lot going on.
I should have pulled the little.
We were just talking about Fight Club, frankly, so I probably did
Oh,
distract you.
Fight Club. Yeah, we'll talk about anything and everything. So just fair warning in case anything's likely to offend, except we won't talk about what happens in Fight Club because everybody knows you don't talk about Fight Club. So you just disclosed to me, you can find an audio-only version of this on Telegram, t.me/table58, and you can email us at pods@table58.org. So you just disclosed that you've never actually seen Fight Club, so that line doesn't make any
This
sense.
is not
Really.
said. I said I have not disclosed in the public. Apparently we're going public with
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, it's all out. Now you have seen it once, but didn't get it. When did it actually come out? It is a long time ago. Right, in my memory, like my instinctive memory, it came out about 12 years ago. So I'm going to take a sensible guess now. I'm going to say it was about 99.
Okay, yes, that would make sense. About the time I was graduating from college.
Club.
And though here it didn't make sense, but I went to the movie. It was like the.
Yes!
You're right, exactly.
November the 10th.
Because it was with my yes. It was my college friends. We went to a midnight showing, which I should not ever do. They really were excited about it. Everybody loved the movie. It is, listen, you have to know me I don't know anything about the kind of background of the movie. For me, it was a lot of content. It was way too late. And we were in like the second row because everybody wanted to see it in the theater when it came out. And I'm like, oh my God, what happened? And everybody's been talking about it since. And I've left it right there. I've never revisited it since. That many years ago.
Right, well, if it's any consolation, it's the kind of film that I would have to watch about 4 or 5 times. Or I would choose to watch 4 or 5 times anyway. So first time I'd just watch it, maybe not get it. Then I'd watch it again. It's a commentary on the materialistic world versus I don't know. It's I don't know really how to sum it up.
Okay.
Hang on. It's a thing. It's based on the novel. Fact, it plays an unnamed. Let's ask Google. What's Fight Club about? What
Few
is
sentence summary.
Fight Club about?
I'm going to go to ChatGPT for a 4-sentence summary. Your favorite. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
Okay. Fight Club follows an unnamed office worker suffering from insomnia who forms an unlikely friendship with the charismatic and rebellious Tyler Durden. Together, they create an underground fight club where men channel frustration and dissatisfaction through bare-knuckle fights. The movement quickly grows beyond its original purpose. As the organization evolves into a radical anti-consumerist movement, the narrator begins to lose control over the chaos Tyler inspires. The film builds towards a psychological twist that forces the narrator to confront the true nature of his identity and the consequences of his actions. That's what ChatGPT came up with from my prompt of a 5-sentence summary.
Pretty accurate.
Well, now I can see why I lost track of it too. I haven't been the biggest fan of watching people punch each other a lot. I mean, I could do it for the purposes of the movie, maybe, but to tell you the truth, I don't really enjoy watching that kind of thing too much either. Anyway,
Yeah, that side of it where they're actually kind of punching each other is only a really small part of the film.
oh, good.
So you can fast forward through those.
Okay.
I think there's only a couple
Or
of
I
bits
could
where they're
just
actually-
like grin and bear it and just say it's just a movie.
Yeah, but yeah, we don't have to subject ourselves to
I don't know, I'm joking. This is
like
how I was thought. I think it's really
grossness
funny.
on. It's like sex scenes in films and stuff. I have to fast forward through those. It's like, ew, no, I feel like a
Do they
voyeur.
make you uncomfy?
Yeah, when I'm by myself. Never mind if I'm in
When you're by
company, and
yourself, the
especially
sex
with
scene make
yeah, I don't like seeing it. I feel like I feel like I'm watching porn basically, which I don't like doing.
on TV?
Yeah,
Okay, yeah, I get it.
yeah. If there's a well filmed like sex scene, I don't like. And then if I'm watching it with friends or even worse, family, it's like no, I have to leave the room.
Oh, do you actually leave? I try to figure out how to be a grown up about it, but it is awkward.
Yeah.
And then I don't. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. You want to read some Mark? You want to cleanse?
Right. yeah.
Let's read some Mark Nepple. Hey,
Whoa.
whose turn is it to read? Are we flipping a coin or what? Actually, I'm sitting here in the dark. Pretty
Right.
much.
I'll read them.
Thank you.
So we're going to kick off. This is because we did plan ahead. So we decided we're kicking off with Mark Nepo, and then after that we'll see where it goes.
Not to be confused, the initials MN with the state of Minnesota,
Yeah.
which is what I
So
did
we're
think it was at
talking.
first.
So,
Mark Nepo, we know who you are.
so my little notes message just said MN. So
Can't wait
we're
till somebody
kicking
who
off
knows
with
Mark
Minnesota.
Nepo is like, do you know these two ladies have been using your book?
Yeah.
You should listen to what they have to say about your shit sometimes. You might be interested.
Yeah. Oh, we'll have to fire. I think I have done. I think I've fired I put something in his comments on his YouTube channel from us. Right then. So this is today. Yes, today is the June 28th. All that we are not. Let's bring it over here a bit. Discernment, the quote at the top, discernment is a process of letting go of what we are not. That's by Father Thomas Keating. And Mark says, I can easily over-identify with my emotions and roles, becoming what I feel. I am angry, I am divorced, I am depressed, I am a failure, I am nothing but my confusion and my sadness. No matter how we feel in any one moment, we are not just our feelings, our roles, our traumas, our prescription of values, or our obligations or ambitions. It's so easy to define ourselves by the moment of struggle we are wrestling with. It is a very human way to be consumed by what moves through us. In contrast, I often think of how Michelangelo sculpted what he saw, and how he sculpted, how he saw the sculpture waiting, already complete in the uncut stone. He would often say that his job was to carve away the excess, freeing the thing of beauty just waiting to be released. It helps me to think of spiritual discernment in this way, facing ourselves, uncovering the meaning in our hard experience. Come on, next. In our hard experiences, the entire work of consciousness speaks to a process by which we sculpt away the excess, all that we are not, finding and releasing the gesture of a soul that is already waiting, complete within us. Self-actualization is this process applied to our life on earth. The many ways we suffer, both inwardly and outwardly, are the chisels of God, freeing the thing of beauty that we have carried within since birth. The many ways we suffer, both inwardly and outwardly, are the chisels of God, freeing the thing of beauty that we have carried within since birth. Then the exercise is sit quietly, and as you breathe, feel all that troubles you rise through your body. As you breathe, allow these troubles to move away from you. Breathe deeply and accept the stillness that comes. It is the skin of your soul, waiting in its completeness, for you to carve away the excess of your very human moods. Yeah. Mr. Nepo, we've both been kind of talking about discernment a lot over the last for quite a few months now. And it was a particular word for you, like that you chose this word for the year ahead, wasn't it? Like it was given to you for that 12-month block.
I did, and it's interesting how ask and you shall receive in most things. And one thing, as an important note that my first sponsor told me, she goes, never ask God for patience. I'm like, okay, I didn't get it. I'm like, wait a minute. She's like, I'm like, all right. She's like, don't do it. I'm like, okay. But now I know what she means. I just have to say I've been living in this, and you've been walking with me, but this piece that really I think is so nice, the skin of your soul. I've just been on a journey of like touching the skin of my soul, and what I think is what Mark's talking about, that when I'm able to really just look at my emotions here and not take it as this craziness. I like the way he puts it, discernment. Like really being able to sit and say, well, let me touch on this emotion for a second, but here's what I've been practicing doing, which I learned from a book I've been reading called The Anatomy of the Spirit by Carolyn Myss. But she's suggesting that when I feel a thing, and that our cells are energy, like when I'm feeling an energy or emotion, then is asking me to think about where I'm feeling it, and then just start to try to be connected to like what that is as another aspect of learning intuition is how I'm receiving it personally. It's tied to your own spiritual well-being, so like seeing your ear health sort of, or just like being aware. But anyway, so what he says here, I'm sitting here kind of almost in the dark. 28. Just hang on, I'm so close.
Oh, I didn't hit stopwatch either. Yeah, it's actually dark there.
It's dark here, yeah. It kind of is, yeah, for some silly. Well, because we're in a process. I'm in a grievance process, I do believe. Okay, June 28th, all the way or not. Okay, and then over-identifying with emotions, right? So if you're, one of the things that I learned right away when we kicked off this program is just really, I call it shelving. And my sponsor really asked me to just stop talking. I have one sponsee who summarized it best recently when I was explaining to her the process. I was working with her newly, so this is how I kick off all my relationships. And anyway, that was one of the things I'm explaining is just less talking is the way you want to roll. That's now it's just listening time. And I was giving it more words. And suddenly she looks at me and she goes, are you just basically telling me to just shut the fuck up? I go, yep, you got it. Bingo. That sounds very simple. Stick to that. Fucked up. So anyway, I call it shelving to like don't talk to them, but like also, okay, shut the fuck up is different from shelving. Then I have the responsibility of all this stuff is going to go through my head like I'm angry, I'm mad, I wonder what they're thinking. Are they mad? How come they didn't call me back? I have that job interview. Were they thinking about this? What if I said this is it? It's like all of that I had to just put away. And then I love it. No matter how we feel in the moment, okay, we're just not that. We're not that thing. And for me, I don't know. I just had this moment, like when a previous supervisor I had looked at me and she's like, Marissa, you do not have an A on your forehead. And I'm like, what? And I had like 4 years of sobriety at this time, so I really was. And I don't walk around feeling like I do either. But she could see through me. People deliver messages, and I'm telling you, the stuff that I have hidden, that I actually truly still believe about myself, that I never thought was real, that I'm like, so she's right. I do feel like I have an AM. What the fuck? Well, how wouldn't I? I have ignition interlock in my vehicle still. I have all this shit going. Of course I feel like that. I can't drive and I'm just ridiculous.
Yeah, A for alcoholic, folks. Just
yeah. A for thank you for finishing my sentence. But the part that you repeated, and then I'm done here. But basically, the point of the chiseling. And thinking of spiritual discernment as basically the chisel to me is the more I stay in the routine, especially when I feel like God's the farthest. Always, though, really, I try to do my routine. I'm thinking of it as a ritual more, trying to put words that actually really do apply to the work that I'm doing to align them. And what I mean by that is ritual can come off to people as being like woo or really have a strange connotation for whatever reason, fear, unknown, I don't know what, but a ritual to me simply is something that keeps me grounded in a place of peace or that returns me to self again, and I know what that looks like. It's waking up thanking God. I know what mine is. Whatever your own is really all that matters. And it did take me time to build. So take that's part of the process. That's what we've been talking about. So yeah, like we ask God for the help, okay, but then we're responsible. You were really nicely talking on that, actually. Not actually. Of course you were. Well, we have to do the work too, you know.
We had a very. It always happens though when you hit record, doesn't it? It changes when you hit record. So we were just like kind of.
We were just tossing out back, we'll roll right into it. We were throwing.
Yeah, like this. Blah, blah, blah. What's happening?
Yeah, we were in the pre.
Yeah, in the pre-chat. So, all right then. I'm just gonna like grab something out of the air. So, gift or not, I got scribbled down. Gift or not, something that I've been kind of thinking about for a while, and it upset me to the point of chairing. I think it was a 3-hour meeting as well. Might be wrong. Might have been 90 minutes, but like this again with like teary eyes and not just being visibly upset to people, but not feeling like I could actually tell them what I was upset about. And the thing that I was upset about was I had asked for help from God. Then something comes in completely from left field to me, and I want to know, is this a gift or is this something is this a temptation, or is this a side distraction? Is this pulling me away from what God's will is? And I kind of asked, and it was a person. It was the person that I'm currently kind of. We're gonna have to like give her a name, but
yeah. Okay, you have one.
Yeah, it's Placebo is her nickname.
Yes, thank you. I was like, P. It's got a P.
Yeah. Right. So it's this person. So I'm kind of like wondering. Right. As I think I said on here. Did I say it on here? This could be. This could be a spiritual. I'm now being spiritually attacked in 2 areas of like sex and money. You know. Or this could be a gift, and I was describing it like the joke of where the guy's drowning in a body of water, you know, and he says, "God save me, I'm drowning," and the helicopter comes overhead, and he says, "No, God's going to save me," and a bit of driftwood goes by, "No," and a boat comes over, "No, God's going to save me," and then he drowns, and like he sees God and says, "Right, why didn't you save me then? I had all that faith in you and that." And God says, "Well, I sent you a helicopter and a boat and a bit of driftwood and things." So and I still don't know this. So if we ask God for something, you know, we are me and you are together are asking God for something to help us out with something. If that then arrives, how do we, so the discernment, I think, comes from first and foremost relationship with God, and what that gives relationship meaning, the ritual and the everyday thing, and the getting to know God, right? Actually getting to know God, how well I know my dogs, because I'm just living with them every day. We're hanging out together all the time. I know how they'll react.
What do you think the word dog that's spelled backwards is
Yeah.
God? I think it's great.
Yeah, but dogs come to us for a reason. I totally believe that. And so it's like, and from that relationship, the only other two things kind of from that comes moral compass and just keep facing the right direction, basically. And they're my two rules for life. The moral compass bit can be a bit fluffy, because it's not like you just have a list of rules and you go, well, you do. We've got like 10 commandments in the Bible. Right, don't murder anybody, and don't covet somebody else's possessions and stuff like that. But aside from the kind of blindingly obvious thing, we could sit and debate for days whether a certain decision is morally right or not, or ethical. I mean, organisations do it, so how should we respond to something?
Yeah.
Right, so it's the moral compass that we have really is kind of the for me, it feels like intuition as well, and it just feels like so. My job really is to just keep myself facing the right direction. So it's usually just little minor tweaks. It's just a little gone off a little bit that way. Right, just bring it back this way. And it's not too much kind of drama and things. It's just, discerning. See, nobody could give me a straight answer to that. That's what I found so upsetting. I thought, right, this is great. Here's a decision to make. I've got some 3 or 4, possibly 5 kind of people who I really respect in my life, who I'd like to, ask their advice on it, and that's what I did. And 2 of them said, "Yeah, sounds great, go for it." And 2 people said, right, I'm not telling you what to do here, but just be careful. And the other one was a bit non-committal either way, and I wanted somebody to tell me what to do. Right, yes, do this, or no, don't do this. And it doesn't work like that. It never works like that. So if something's a gift, right, is this thing, like the water bottle at the airport, that when you were coming back, and you said, right, there was a water bottle in front of you that had, so you can tell, well, you tell the story.
Okay, I've been in the middle of a shit storm in a good way, but so I'm at the airport. This is part of it, and on this table is a water bottle that looks. I received a gift from my daughter for Christmas a year and a half ago, and it was the same colors, same brand, everything, and it had some water in it. And so then I left. I was in working through some emotions, and then I went back like 45 minutes later, and the same water bottle was still there. Nobody was at the tables, same thing. And I'm like, and my flight was going to board, so I had to make a choice. And I decided I'm still a little bit uncomfortable about it. I decided to become the owner of the water bottle. And then I'm like, is this considered stealing? And I'm like, well, if I leave it here, it's going to go to anybody else or to the lost and found, get thrown away, probably, maybe even. And so I'm like, I guess I'm going to take it and take my chances. But getting to your point, is that there's always a moral thing or something?
Yeah, so in that situation, Right, and then you had the time kind of thing. It probably would have been taken away and destroyed, wouldn't it? It could have been a potential bomb or
Yeah,
something. So,
because that you're right.
and like you're
Yeah.
under, you didn't tell me that bit about, the flight's going to board, so you're under
Yeah,
a bit of
then
pressure.
I'm at the airport. I make it all the way to Minneapolis, and I'm in the bathroom there. And again, I had been through a series of really difficult things. So these really intriguing drops were intermittent in between the difficult things, like that, but like difficult moral compass challenges. So then I'm in the bathroom getting ready to leave after I picked up my bag when I arrived home from the trip I was just on. And there's this sweatshirt sitting right there, and I'm like, okay, well, it's too big for me, but Naima, my daughter, likes bigger sweatshirts, and it was nice and fluffy and stuff. And you could just tell. So anyway, I'm like, I walk out like kind of, I'm like, should I grab it? Somebody's gonna if I don't. So I walk out kind of holding it, opening it up, and then it dawns on me. My intuition says that person's already left the airport. Like they've already gotten their bags and left. And I'm like, okay, okay, keep it. Naima, my daughter, picks me up. We get home. I'm like, oh yeah, I got something for you. And I show it to her. And she goes, oh my God, where'd you get this? And I was like, in the women's restroom, somebody left it there. She's like, Mom, this is a Park sweatshirt. Parke. I thought it was a freaking city somewhere or something. And she goes, these are like $130. Hannah was going to buy one last. I was like, it's all yours, babe. Anyway, like, yeah, weird.
But like that thing then, right? Because there was a little bit of a story before that where was it your previous water bottle, or was it that one that
My water
burst in your
no,
bag and
no, my other water bottle spilled all over inside my backpack, inside my computer, my library books, my charger, everything. So I was in a
right? So
whatever. I'll have to
your existing water bottle has just leaked everywhere, right? So
Yeah.
whatever
And it's
happens
had a
with the
leak for a
situation
while.
inside your backpack, that water bottle is probably not any good anymore. And then you're being presented with a new water bottle. So is that a gift? Is that a gift at the time? Because you sent a message to me saying, "Is that stealing?" And I'm like,
Okay,
thinking,
listen, Missy, I got a question for you. I think I did get a gift, but in your case, here's what I think. From my mere experience working on a similar thing you are on God of Our Own Understanding, the process is the learning, and things will naturally integrate or shift just as they're intended to. But there's plenty of learning right now. I think there's and if here's the thing I found: if I can maintain myself, my own authentic self, because when I wasn't doing that, I am not serving my partner at all. Because I'm not giving. That's fucked up. I'm not doing that. If that can't be received in a gentle way, it cannot work for me. And then we can be friends maybe, but if we can't be friends either, I'm just not going to do drama. I just can't today. Like, I will do hard things, but I expect people to be responsible for their own emotional, I think it's just like part of their emotional, welfare. And retreating counts in a night. It's really okay to say, I just need 48 hours. I really care about you. I don't want to say some shit. I need to figure some shit out. So let's have space. I think that's healthy. And if somebody isn't cool with that, good to know. That's another indicator of, where you're at. And it's just whatever you figure out you need. But just along the way, if things are harder than easier consistently, well then, yeah. But if hard things evolve into easier things, wonderful, look what you've accomplished together. But don't disillusion yourself. I've had it on that. I can't fantasy land shit. If I start fantasy landing shit, then well, that's what I'm used to. So no, show me the real deal, otherwise no, I don't have anything to discuss.
yeah, yeah. So it
Like,
could
I
be
am so
like
over, yeah, okay. So I'd say no, there's no answer. Oh, one day at a
yeah,
time is the solution right here, and more will
yeah,
be revealed. There you go.
yeah. And discernment is the intuition. It's like trusting ourselves to rely on that intuition.
Yeah, also like I notice too how much I like if I'm when I'm around the people, if I get drained emotionally every time, if the person isn't able to see me, to lift me up to be aware of my spate of who I am of naturally, then like I've just been in so many places where I'm trying so hard to make it work when that isn't real. And then I'm finding places where I naturally receive from people what I give. Like, and so then I don't have to stop, then I can stop diminishing my own gifts and strengths because I get to fully be with a person, with my friends that I actually like, because you're gentle and kind and nice to me and not trying to fuck up my fucking life. You know, like I don't want that. I literally will cry. I don't want to fight over dumb shit because all it is chaos from what's really going on. I want to hear, ooh, this is twinging something from like something I'm trying to figure out, and I do not want to bring it to our relationship. So okay, that's it. That's the baseline. I'm like hardcore on this shit right now because I'm like, because we spend so much time in places where we had an experience yesterday, you and I together in the same space where we got to see the example of when you just sit and explain the problem and go and allow it to turn into like more and more arms and layers of it. And it's just first of all, the problem was almost hardly ever directly related to the exact thing that occurred. Rarely. So there's that. Then I let myself decide how you feel about this and how scared I am of blah, blah, blah. Now I'm embellishing this whole fucking thing that I'm choosing to do. But wait, when I do that, everybody around me has to go through that same experience. So like, I'm just going to lay it out there. I got a phone call yesterday from my ex-husband is going through we haven't been married for a very long time. Anyway, he's going through some major health stuff. I received a voice memo from his daughter that was nothing. It was quite dragon breathing, you know, and very assumptive about things related to my character and what I haven't done, and you no longer can and will, and very just punitive and diminishing. And I spent a lot of time involved in this because of the lack of their involvement. And so I think this was beautifully designed by God, where I can see that she got angry enough about something that is no one's fault. This is the type of whatever we're looking at ahead of us, we're just learning, and it's not predictable, and it's creating chaos in a lot of places that have to do with finances and things that appear scary but aren't, and we've clicked in now. So she's taken that over, which is great. But the dragon breathing and the voice memo for over 3 minutes talking about my character and things that are less than real are fine. I have a choice today. I just didn't listen. I got the first 10 seconds of it. And I learned I have a choice because somebody shared with me once when from someone, my own first sponsor was sending me quite a few messages. The reflection I received from somebody was, you don't have to listen to those, right? So I was like, I do believe she said this and this and this and this. And he's like, you don't have to listen to that stuff. You know that, right? And I was like, oh, I don't? Oh, you're right. So I applied that here. But I'm saying to the point, like, being socially responsible, that pause, like when I said I don't want to hurt anybody anymore, and I learned that from my inventory work, that means I stop. And the hardest thing is stopping when all you want to do is unload, and all you want to do is unload with that person because you love them so much. So they're the one you need to do it with too. It's all of it, and it's all selfish, and it's all just like nothing I want to put up with one more fucking day. So like my daughter doesn't do that shit. So for me, like, I think it's mostly just like, you didn't even ask me, but for me, it's like, can I come as I am, and can I have no drama? Like, we can talk about difficult things. That is not what I'm saying, but not the other kind of fucking less than emotionally mature conversations. I'm not interested in those because I don't bring that to the table, you know? So then the point is really just my self-worth level. I think for all of us, really. What am I willing to, how willing am I to share? Because this is the other thing that's really important to me. If I'm spending time in a place that's distracting me from my peace, that means I am not being utilized in places where I am either feeling peace and or providing peace. And right now, with the way life is feeling in and is feeling like, for me, more than important to be where God wants me to be, which is not in places that are distracting me from being my best. And I will spend a long time there thinking that I need to help and or we're making progress or something. And so, yeah, that's my work. I'm getting better at it. Because I also have I have a cutoff game that's done. My cutoff game is solid. So you don't want to make it there. You can't. My cutoff game is a fucking steel ass door with a password and that thing in my hand that only you and I know about. Sorry.
Yeah.
And I don't feel bad about it either. If I get that far, yeah. Anyway, do we have another topic?
Yeah. Yeah. So going back to the water bottle, the judgment thing. When you text and said, "Is that stealing?" The only thing I could think of to write back was tricky, and then talked about something else on the, I don't know. Is this thing like in Big Book, for example? It'll start off with something, giving the real kind of obvious examples of something. Of clearing away the wreckage of our past. So the things that this is the bit that I'm working on. Where have I harmed others? And there's kind of like the big obvious stuff. And I love the text for this, the kind of like obvious things. But then goes into the subtler things, and that then becomes more kind of grey area. It's like, right, if I was such a terrible alcoholic that I neglected my partner, for example, or I lost a job through alcoholism or whatever, then yeah, it's kind of the obvious stuff. But then goes into kind of those other things like where it's not quite so black and white, and where we need to actually discuss those with another person. So would you consider this to be harm to somebody, or was I actually taking the correct course of action then, do you think? And that's when we kind of need our peers and sponsors and things to be able to bounce this stuff around, and writing things out makes it actually says in the 12 and 12 that we're not looking for to be overly dramatic, remember things overly with an overly emotional state, whether it was harm done to us or us doing harm to others. It's just the inventory thing again. We're just trying to get things out so that we can have a clear kind of look at things without the drama. So that's in our as we're doing our program and stuff, that's where we have people who are further ahead than us to kind of help guide us with things like this. And in life, when making a decision about that, so shall I grab that water bottle that's been presented right in front of me, and those certain things, characteristics of that water bottle that chimed with you from a previous one that you had and everything, it's all right. So is that a gift being offered to me, or is that something that I should not touch whatsoever? And if I do touch it, that's the incorrect course of action and everything. Nobody knows. That's the answer to it. Nobody knows. It has to come from intuition. There's nobody who can say, yes, Take it.
Oh, I see where you're going with all
Right,
of this. And this
20
is a great
people.
way to start trusting.
20
Yeah.
people can give you 20 different answers, or they can split into two camps and go, no, that was a terrible thing. You shouldn't have taken that. Yes, that was definitely the. And it's what happens in meetings and group consciences and business meetings, is you have that group of people saying that group of people saying that, and every point of view can be valid, can be backed up with text. You do it in the Christian world. You can have you can grab a Bible quote to support any point of view that you're trying to. So two people could argue against each other for a long time with very credible, valid arguments and backed up with the thing. At the end of the day, there's a decision to be made, and that only rests with me and my discernment, which is a bit of a daunting concept to get my head around. Is actually I am responsible for my relationship with the creator of everything. That is the only thing really at the end of the day.
And you'll know. You've always known.
Yeah.
You'll know. You'll know when it ends. You'll know when to try. You'll know. You will. Kay is so good at. I love that we're doing this. I love this. It's echoing conversations with Kay. Same. I'm like, how will I know? And this was tight. This was like 2 years thinking about a relationship, and I'm like, how will I ever even know that I won't end up in that, And she's like, don't worry, you're not ready for stuff. Clearly, you're all that. She didn't say it, but she was so direct. She's like, don't you think you'll know at this point in your life? And I'm like, I guess maybe you're right. Maybe I would, which is where I was like, yeah, you have a long way to go still, which is great, and it's not that I'm on this Ferris wheel of never getting off of it, of trying to figure out how to get aligned with me. That's not the point. But I loved hearing yeah, it'll be all right. When you get there, you'll know. Any of the stuff, even the next job. I think about Wesley or even when after that, getting up here to St. Paul, or I kind of just, how it says, well, we want to not worry. We don't regret the past, but also we don't want to worry or think about the future. Kind of stay in the day, which you do really well. But then I just do the process. Really, really keep practicing, just learning about the process. The process is everything, and not the outcome. The outcome's going to go, God knows. I'll just stay in the process. You were talking about this really nicely when you were talking in our pre-chat before we hit record on the action required.
Yeah.
It's not just being suggested to do certain things. There you go. You were chatting on it nicely.
Yeah, so I did kind of outline this in the last one with the last episode with Sarah G. But it was right on the end, and I kind of hadn't really got my head around the thoughts yet. But it was on the last day of the heat wave that we've had, where the temperatures have been very hot, up to 45, whatever that is, like 110, 112, 113, I think maybe even higher than that. So that in the afternoon it really is kind of quite extreme temperatures. And just comparing my two closest neighbours to me, who are both men who live by themselves. One is around about 90 years of age, the other one's about 70 years of age. And one is has some family around, has an emergency bleep button that he was a bit resistive to getting, but did get. Both of these men are totally with it mentally, but are prone to falls, weak on their legs for two different reasons, but are weak on the legs and prone to falling, and have fallen quite a lot. So my neighbour, Mr. Potte, has got a thing around his neck that comes at one of the numbers on the list that it comes to is me, because I'm so close. And we're facing this kind of it's not just a heat wave, it's the fact that we were kind of day 6 or day 7 into it as well, which has been which was tough for me, and I don't suffer with the heat really, and I was feeling it then. So in the morning, I'd gone round to see Mr. Potte, neighbour, and just checked that everything was that he was okay, and just to let him know that he could press his bleep, and it wouldn't mean it's an emergency thing, but just if he needed something, but it was outside, you know, and so I could just run and fetch it for him to avoid and he'd already said to avoid the risk of him being tempted to go outside, maybe fall, and then it's only in those temperatures with even with shade, it's only a matter of minutes before you're in a medical extreme kind of situation. And the likelihood is that there aren't people passing by because everybody else is doing the same thing. Everyone's hiding in the houses with the shutters closed and everything. Right, so he had the tools available at his, over the last couple of years or so. People who live close by, his family, the idea of getting this little technological pendant thing, and his own kind of I would say responsibility for himself. The other neighbour has refused point blank to have one of these coal things, and has fallen in the night and has not been found for a long time. He has been helped by people who live close by, but a lot of that has fallen away because of him being awkward to deal with. Basically, him not being the easiest of people to get along with, but also he's cut that off. So several people, including in my position, have said, right, you know where I am, you know my phone number, you know when I'm available to kind of help to run him around and things when he didn't have a car. Here I am, and I'm not going to be chasing or rearranging my weekly schedule for him and doing things at his to suit his timetable. It's like, I've offered him a solution and left it there, kind of thing, and he hasn't taken me up on that. So it's kind of down to one person who's doing everything for him, and I think that might have stopped. So that's the massive context of the story. But that on the hottest day, at 4 p.m, he was taking his black plastic bag of rubbish out to the main dumpy bin, and I could see him out of the kitchen window. And he wasn't carrying it either, he was kind of dragging it along the floor like this, looking ever so wobbly on his feet. And my first thing was, what the fuck are you doing? And then my second feeling was intense annoyance, because now I've got to keep an eye on him. I was kind of thinking, right, I'll run out and walk him back to his house. And then I was thinking, no, I will just watch him though. Right, so it's all very slow actions, putting his bag of rubbish in the bin, and then he's kind of walking backwards. Then I did have to go outside just so that I could see him actually get into his house. And he got into his house and it was okay. But my feeling was of intense annoyance at that, because there was nothing about putting a bag of... I don't know what was in the bag. I'm assuming it's just normal rubbish, but there was no urgency to get that put in at that time of day, and that couldn't have waited until the evening. So the thing was like in me, so I have to kind of work out how I'm responding to this thing. Why, my thoughts today on it are that the love, coming in love and kindness, can sometimes mean opening the door and shouting, "What the fuck are you doing? You know, are you mental?" Maybe that's it sometimes. Is that
Or
hard stuff,
this
you
is
know?
not my favorite, but it is a part of our suggestions that we cannot fix, manage, or control other people. This is maddening to me too. I'll watch people running when it's 100 degrees. I don't know where our time's at, but and I'll see like just people make or you have an injury and then you won't recover in a way that allows your body to, I watch or you know anyway, and you know exactly the process that would allow you to, and you just don't do it. Then I'm like, oh, I think I'm mad at me. Like I'm
Yeah.
learning, like, oh, I'm the one that couldn't just, do that. It's like, yeah, so his choice, and I can't fix, manage, or control
Yeah,
that.
it is somebody's, that's the choice, you know.
And that
But
doesn't make you the asshole, just like I didn't steal someone's water bottle. You know?
yeah,
Kinda. You're not
yeah,
an asshole for that. If he wants to live that way, actually, if somebody, to some extent, it's like, yeah, I can't. If you freaking know your cholesterol is high, you get you still want to smoke cigarettes, then I don't have to. The thing that I like is that the less I try to fix, manage, and control, the more I can just show up as the friend and then stop caring about whatever. Like, it's not my job
yeah,
my only
yeah,
job is to be your friend, actually. And being your friend isn't like, I might be, dude, take the trash. It might be that. No, please don't do that anymore. But on the other hand, it might be, well, his personality. That dude seems to
yeah,
be
yeah,
relentless.
yeah. And it's like we'll see it in our program. Is one person will see the toolkit for what it is, grab it and go, and go, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, this is it. And another person will not, for whatever reason. And the program kind of tells us, right, up to a point, yes, but don't be expending your energy on somebody who won't hear the thing. Go to the next person who will, somebody that you can help. And the Bible says, if you go into a town, first of all, the Bible says that Jesus sent the disciples 2 by 2, so they were working together and they were witnessing for each other. And obviously, like when one's strong, the other one's weak, the other one's strong, and all that. But also, there's a witness to something. You can both witness each other in action. So there's somebody in the room who knows, like all the rest of the people might not know or understand how courageous that action just was, but somebody does. That you've got a wingman who kind of, there's something to that. There's way more energy with 2 or 3 people, as we kind of witnessed yesterday. And it says the same thing. Biblically, it says go. Don't take anything with you. Don't change your clothes. Don't take anything. Go into a village, and if the village welcomes you, stay in that house for the time that you're in that village. If the village won't welcome you, turn around and shake the dust off your feet. Go and move on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's really great feedback. Then you stay out of the chaos. And
yeah,
I mean, it's like welcome me also because we could teach people to be welcoming who want to learn how to be taught it. That's the thing where I'm sitting at. Like, this is what we were talking about in the pre-meeting. I'm really ready for people to start to take their own selves and lives more seriously and get over it. Like everything that people have to do, the process, how hard it was. The only way that you and I got where we are was by doing the same, our own version of the exact same thing. And we had to stop doing the same things and start to initiate and release. We talk about this. I like to talk about it. Uncover to discover to discard. That's a process. And then you do it again. It's a ritual and it just pops up. It'll come naturally to you. But this thing where we will just sit at somehow, what I like about going to the next town is that, yeah, If there's some people that really just don't mind, it's attraction, not promotion. If you're not interested in really in it, no problem. And it doesn't make you a bad, it doesn't make you
Yeah, yeah,
anything. It just means I want to, my efforts are going to be utilized here. And it also makes, it also, it's really okay for me to be where I am good, where God's put my gifts. Like I haven't, it's like I was taught it but removed it, like told it was ego when it wasn't. And you're supposed to find your vocation and purpose, but then how dare you think that you should get that attention? That's not what it is. It was who my personality was of life has been so vilified by like my face. It's just like everybody can just go fuck off. Okay? Because, and stop being terrible to somebody for fucking just doing the thing that you're not quite ready to do yet today. Okay? Fine. But we're going to be over here in the next village. Yeah, good feedback. Because otherwise, if I stay there too, I lose sight. And this is the perfect example. I lose sight of my gifts. So I have been really struggling, and it's just I'm growing. And thank you for bearing witness and being part of it with me. And I think it might be something to, at some point, I don't know, share more vulnerably. But thinking about, oh my God, sharing more vulnerably, I got distracted. It shows up in another way. What do I want to tell you right now? I want to tell people.
Attraction over promotion, and if
Not
you
promotion. Fuck.
go,
Yeah. I'll have to put it in the comments or something like that. I said it showed up in another way, and here's how it showed up. But anyway, I can't quite.
It sounded
But
like
going to the next.
you're gonna say it.
We're talking
like
about going to the
song.
next.
Yeah, go on.
Well, we were just talking about going on to the next town. Yeah, an attraction, not promotion, and how it came up in a different kind of way that I can't recall at the moment. But being where our gifts are, and how I didn't. Yeah. Anyway, I don't know. I don't want to. We'll have to. It's just not with
Yeah,
me.
and somebody being with you to bear witness to that, and you said then thank you for being there, like.
Yeah, bear witness. Yeah.
Maybe you need to write that. Yeah, so website's not done yet. I'll just report back. I may as well on
I
the
can't wait
announcement.
till we get it. I know it's been a lot. I know
Yeah,
it is.
it's
I can't wait.
yeah, it's going to be good, and also, yeah, thinking of setting up a Substack as well. So we're going to do. We already decided we're going to do Vimeo and Rumble and stuff, and also Insta, TikTok, Telegram. We're already there. So
Yeah.
yeah, watch this space. So my thing will be tomorrow. Mine's Monday afternoons for.
Yeah, and I don't have an appointment Monday afternoon, but I still need to do. Yeah. Anyway, Monday afternoons. Yeah, as our work time. That's great.
Yeah.
We'll be live soon. The website will be soon. This month, for sure by July.
Yeah. Oh, it's a full moon now, I think.
It's a full moon on Monday.
Yeah, I'm going to say Tuesday. I think it's 99% on Tuesday.
Strawberry moon.
Yeah. You're Googling it.
I think it's the 29th. No, 30th. 31st. Is it the 31st?
When's the
No, I'm just
31st?
kidding.
Tuesday.
Monday, June 29th. You might be a different time zone. That's why you get it Tuesday.
Yeah, no, on my weather
because
thing.
it is. Because mine's 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So yeah, yours is going to be on Tuesday.
Yeah, true that. Yeah, so good week. I'm looking forward to this week.
Yes.
Yeah, be a
This
good
week
one.
should be very revealing. And I wrote my inventory. Okay, so the writing has happened. Next, watch out, world. Here we come.
Yeah, we are ready.
Thanks for coming, everybody.
So, yeah.
See you next week.
Carry
Okay,
on,
bye.
kids.
Carry on.